lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop, freshly back from an estate sale. I'm going to take you to that estate sale in just a second, but before I do, here's a little disclaimer. Now, hear me out. I am not having a holier-than-thou moment, trust me, because I have been guilty of this in the past. But I've come to realize when I go to estate sales, it can be very easy for all of us to sort of jump to judgment when we look at what appears to be the way other folks live, and we may say, oh my goodness, how did they let this place get so run down? Or why is it so filthy? Or how terrible the children don't want anything. I hear that all the time. Well, remember, and this is a good thing for all of us to remember, that we don't know the stories of the folks who live in these homes. Now, I know a little bit about this house, and I'm going to tell you. Trust me, I'm going to tell you. But as you take a look at the house, hold judgment until you hear me explain sort of the situation. The gentleman who lived in the house died at age 92. He was living in the house as a widower. His wife had died several years earlier, and they only had one child. One son who is 70 and not able to really consume all of the things that belonged to his 94-year-old father. So the estate sale company comes in. That's what happens. I don't know if the man was in poor health, but a 98-year-old man living alone, 94-year-old man living alone. I don't even know if his son lived close by or not, but that's the story. This was the 7th day of the estate sale, so that house had been torn up. You know how people are. The first minute they get in there, people just are, sometimes can be disrespectful and rant and rave and rip through things. And you may say, oh my gosh, well, you know, the son didn't even want the old pictures. Listen, once again, we've talked about that. Not everybody likes old pictures. You know? And he's 70. What does he, you know, he might not have any use for his mother's old wedding dress. It just might not mean anything to him. So we really can't transfer our emotions and our feelings about things onto other people. I've come to learn that basically by attending a lot of estate sales and learning the history of the folks that live there and just understanding human nature. What am I talking about? Okay, let's just go to the estate sale, and then when it's all over with, I'll explain. Well, as you can see, I'm not really saying a whole lot. I think sometimes you just don't feel like talking when you go to an estate sale. You kind of just want the house to tell the story. But I will sort of at the end recap and tell you a little bit about what I found out about the last person who lived here. Look at that old stove. That looks like it's from probably the 50s, maybe the early 60s. What is it? It's an old General Electric. That is really neat. This is actually the 7th day of this estate sale, so things look really disheveled. I wouldn't necessarily say that the last person who lived here lived in quite this much of a mess, but I think people have been digging through this house for 7 days. Yep. And that's the result. That's the result. Everything gets picked over and thrown all about. So, yeah. Whew. Good grief. Well, for posterity's sake, and I'm going to tell you the whole story later, I have purchased the wedding gown. Did I say gowned? The wedding gown. And the pictures of the bride. And that's the original box from Gimbel's, which was a great Philadelphia department store. Well, yeah, I think it was, was it founded in Philly and then also New York, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee? So the wedding dress was in that. I'm gonna put the dress back in that with the old photographs and probably see if the Camden County, I'm in Camden County, so maybe I can donate it. We'll see, we'll talk about it, but let me get it all boxed up and then I'll tell you what I paid for it. Okay. Ooh, curtains. So anyway, let's look at the few things that I was able to purchase and bring home with me from that nice old estate sale. We'll do that now. Okay, very quickly, I paid almost nothing, $1 or $2, for a box of light bulbs. I always need light bulbs, and there were Christmas light bulbs in here, as well as some really neat old C6s. There's some C6s in a neat old box. And I think there's another thing of C6s here somewhere. I know that here it is under here. So I always need these at Christmas time for some of the old Christmas ornaments that I have that are electric. And I love this box. I've got one, so here's my second one. That goes way back to the 40s or 50s. That's an old one. And then all the rest of the light bulbs I can use. And then I did find out that the man worked for 40 years for the old RCA Victor company. And here's just one little pocket protector that he might have had a slide rule in, or eyeglasses, or who knows what. I'll probably sell that. I'm not sure. I might sell this and I might keep it. There were about 20 of these unopened. The house is in Camden County, and of course Camden, the city of Camden, was the home of the Victor Talking Machine Company. And the big old stained glass windows are still there. I've talked about that before. I think only one is original, and there are facsimiles in the other 3 windows. You can look all that up. So there's Nipper, listening to his master's voice. This is an unopened puzzle. This is like something that probably came out in the 1980s. Who knows? So I don't know. I might keep. Oh wait, 1979. The windows, as they appear as of this writing, were rededicated on the night of April the 10th, 1979. The rededication occurred 10 years to the day that the original windows were removed. Okay, well, there's our answer right there. Very nice. There's the whole, here's the whole story about the windows. The windows were designed by Nicola D. Somebody, Studios of Philadelphia. They remained in place until 1969. I do know that, well, here we go. Oh, wait a minute. One is in the Smithsonian. One is at Widener. One is at Chester, Penn State, and one was retained by RCA. The one retained by RCA, I think, is in the Camden County Historical Society. Anyway, now, there's the whole history of the windows, and this is a puzzle. I may keep that. I don't know, and I might not. All right, now let me slide over here on this porch floor, and then you saw me go through a bunch of old excuse me, 78s, and this is the way they used to come in these albums. This is old patented 1918, and I have several of these. The cardboard deteriorates terribly, but a stack of 78s. And this one is called Roll 'em Girls. You actually heard a little bit of this, not this rendition, in one of my videos I created maybe 2 weeks ago. This one here says the Majestic Dance Orchestra, and there's probably a vocal on it. It's about rolling your stockings down below your knee. How shocking that was in the mid-1920s. Roll 'em girls, roll 'em. And so I've got a whole stack of 78s here to play. And one more thing. That's right, from Gimbel's Department Store in Philadelphia. The original box. There's the wedding dress. And all that material behind it, I guess you call that the train. And the wedding pictures. It's all in there. What am I going to do with that? I don't know. But they basically gave it to me. You know, after 7 days at the estate sale, nobody had any interest in it. I said, well, the wedding dress and the pictures have to stay together. So something's going to happen to that, but I just don't know exactly what yet. We'll have to see. Anyway, I'm going to go clean up these records over here on the flow, pour myself an iced tea and crank up the Victrola, and then organize my Christmas lights. There's always something to do around here. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the estate sale. Come and see me again the next time. That's it for now from the porch here at the 1925 bungalow. Thanks for watching, everyone. So long for now.